afternoon. Thanks for joining us. My name is Tim Elinsky. I'm the mayor of Cottonwood, and you are watching Inside Cottonwood. My guests today are Ryan Bigelow from the Historic Preservation Commission, Judd Wasden from the Planning and Zoning Commission, and we have Margot Mitchell, who's chair of the Library Advisory Board. And today we're going to have a great conversation about what the commissions do, these commissioners do on behalf of the community, and hope to entice some of you out there in the audience to sign up and join a commission. We have several openings on each one of these commissions that are present here today. So we're just going to go down the line, and we'll start with you, Ryan. You are a commission member on the Historic Preservation Commission. Please tell us, Ryan, in your own words, what service does your commission provide to the community?
Well, that's a great question. You know, when we're on the commission, getting together monthly, you know, I think our biggest accomplishment right now is just bringing awareness to this community of what great, rich history this place has. You know, I've lived in this community for almost 10 years now. I'd be honest with you, the first 4 of them I wasn't really aware of the history that we have, not just in Old Town Cottonwood, but in Cottonwood proper altogether. So it's been really fun to explore some of the various history that we have here. And to be able to share that with other folks. And I think the more the history that you know about the area, the more you actually really appreciate this area. And that's what I find most rewarding.
Right, great. Judd Wasden,
Yes.
your commission, Planning and Zoning Commission. What do you do for the community?
You know, I really boil it down to we're advocates, I think, for the community in general. We're involved in as you know, some of the recommendations for growth, whether it's current or future development. And really we have the best interest of the community at heart in terms of how we want to see that growth, what we want to encourage, and what are the types of businesses aesthetically and what areas come into the community.
Right. And the Planning and Zoning Commission recently merged, well, it hasn't, maybe a couple years with the design review, correct? So you also do design review?
That's right. Yeah, originally I was on the design and review, and that merger brought me over into planning and zoning. And that's one of the things I think that is an important part of our commission is reviewing the businesses that come in, not necessarily to be business worthy in our community, but we're always looking, like I said, in the best interest of the community. What type of aesthetics, so to speak, will they bring in? And I think you can look just over the last 10 years at what Old Town's become, and encouraging good, smart development and businesses that come in that really as a community we can view as assets. And I think that's a really rewarding part, being in the community and volunteering, because you know, we love living here, and we love the growth and direction that the community's taking.
Great. And Margot Mitchell, you're the chair of the Library Advisory Board?
That's correct.
And so what is it that you do for our community?
Well, me personally, or the library?
Through the Library Board.
Well, we help with Vanessa. Vanessa is the library director, and she's done a marvelous job. The library is such a vital part of any community, but I think that Vanessa has brought something extra, and her staff, to this particular library. The activity there is incredible, and it's inspiring to be in that area. We, the members of the advisory board, make suggestions. We listen to Vanessa's issues that she's dealing with. We do yays or nays depending on what she may be not quite certain what direction she wants to go into in a particular idea that she has. And it's not an overwhelmingly difficult task, of course, what we have. It's more pleasant than anything else, because we not only do help there and provide support to Vanessa and the library youth services person and the adult services person who also reports to us currently during these meetings, but we find out what's going on within those two groups and how much there is with the library. The depth of the library is incredible. If I have time, I'd like to tell you more about that.
Sure, of course. Yeah, your new addition, the youth services addition on that library is just impressive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we like to bring our kids there. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys have done a really great job. So it sounds like you all are involved in so much, but I think we should talk a little bit about the time commitment. So, Margot, how often does your commission meet, and how much time does it take out of your day?
We meet, right now we're meeting once a month, except during the summer months.
Okay.
And the meetings are relatively brief. We rarely go over an hour.
Okay.
So it's not onerous.
Good. And just once a month?
Yes.
Once a month for about an hour? Okay.
Yes.
That seems doable.
It is.
Okay. And Judd, what about you?
It's very doable on our end too. You know, we have a fixed meeting that's once a month, and it's usually about 2 hours. Occasionally there'll be another meeting, sometimes a joint session with the city council, or there's other opportunities to volunteer on subcommittees.
Right.
And so that commitment, and part of the process too that I enjoy is there's a little bit of homework too. It's not just come down and sit for a meeting, but there's some planning involved in that, and as to what is on the agenda, and reviewing that, and it gets you out in the community to see where these businesses are coming and what their plans are. Okay. So it's not an overly extensive commitment. A few hours a month, I would say, but very rewarding.
Okay, great. Ryan?
We meet once a month, about an hour. Sometimes we go a little bit longer than that, but not often. You know, we do the historic home and building tour. That's when it gets a little bit more in depth and a little bit more of a time commitment. But I think we're doing a really good job of dispersing some of those commitments and making sure that we get more people involved to carry some of the load. So we'll try to recruit folks for that right now too, I guess.
Good.
But overall, you know, 1-2 hours a month, sometimes a little bit more, but very manageable.
Okay, great. So let's speak briefly then. We'll start with you, Ryan, about some of the major accomplishments that you personally have achieved while on the commission.
Sure. Well, I just mentioned the historic home and building tour. I think that's worked closely with you on that, and I think that's something that I take a great amount of pride in. We've been able to host several now where we've given the community a little bit of a view of what our history has been here, Old Town Cottonwood and beyond in the Clemens Hall, this last one. So.
Right.
You know, that's, I think, of all the things we've been able to accomplish, I think that's my pride and joy from the commission. We've been able to raise a little bit of money for a matching grant program. So we are hoping to recruit homes and businesses to try to apply for being locally recognized as a landmark here in Cottonwood. Along with that, we've been able to help a couple of buildings get landmarked. So they have actual bronze plaques on them now. You'll see in Old Town. So we're trying to expand that program. But I guess the list goes on and on of what I'm really proud of. But to keep it brief, the home tour is definitely my pride and joy.
Great. Judd Wasden, how about you?
You know, I think just being part of the commission and mentioning before, we've seen a lot of growth, and our piece of that, or I guess the part that I am more inclined to appreciate, is being consistent as a commission, ensuring that businesses that come in, it doesn't matter what size or where they're coming into, that we're consistent in what we want to see in our community. And above and beyond that, really bring in businesses that want to be here and that are invested here. And that includes coming in and saying, I want to put this type of building, I want something that looks good and is an asset to the community. And I think there's several developments that have come in, and residential and commercial, that we've seen and have been a lot more, I guess, processed and thought out. And I'm proud that we're taking the time to look at those a little bit more and encouraging some of the development, some of the neat things that will make these properties, these businesses stand out. And I know Ryan mentioned Old Town. I think that's a really neat area of our town. It's certainly got a lot of press. As you see the businesses that are coming in there and the development, just really in a short period of time, it's really turned into a neat area. But all along Main Street and even some of the new residential developments that are coming in, it's neat to see that and participate in that. It's very rewarding.
Good. And Margot?
Well, I will have to say quite modestly that it is an honor to be on the commission for the library. But personally, I cannot take a great deal of credit because really the library runs so beautifully as it is. We are a support group, but to say that I can take personal pride in a certain thing that I have done as part of that commission, I can't really say that. I would like to be able to. I could make some things up.
Oh, please do, yeah.
But truly, it is a marvel how well the library works with the limited space they have and the numbers of people that keep increasing by as the time goes by, and it's really a marvel. It really is.
It is.
Plus, there are there are other groups in the library that do more work. Like there is the fundraising group, what do they call them? The bookmarks. The bookmarks. Yes, and that is a great fundraising group too. And they have really added some new vigor and determination to increase what they're doing for the library too. So it's really I wish I could say that I had done more like the two of you, but oh well.
Very, very modest. Well, it's a very, very well-run library. You do an amazing amount with limited staff and limited time. A lot of volunteer hours go into that library, so we surely appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break here, and please come back and join us on Inside Cottonwood. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jen Cohen. Join me now through Valentine's Day for our Shop Local First Showcase, presented by Local First Arizona and Verde Valley TV. On this program, we'll showcase various local businesses that can help you with your Valentine's Day planning and gift buying.
Hey there, I'm Kyle Benedict, news editor with Yavapai Broadcasting. Join news director Paul David and I twice a week, every week, right here on Verde Valley TV for Countywide. We sit down and talk with everyone from local police and fire agencies to nonprofit organizations, the National Force, and so much more. For times and listings, go to verdevalleytv.com. Again, it's Countywide, twice a week, every week, right here on Verde Valley TV. See you then.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Tim Alinsky. I'm the mayor of Cottonwood, and you are watching Inside Cottonwood. And today we're joined by various commissioners from our city. We have Ryan Bigelow with us from the Historic Preservation Commission, Judd Wasden from our Planning and Zoning Commission, and Margot Mitchell, who's the chair of our Library Advisory Board. So we're just having a great conversation again about what they do on the commissions, how they give back to their community. And I think Margot wants to share a little bit about the Youth Services wing of their library.
Yes, Youth Services is rather remarkable. I will say the first thing that the staff members there, the paid people that are actually paid to work there, they are so enthused and always coming up with great new ideas. They have, for example, they have 3 different events for preschoolers that involve singing and music and socializing, from babies to kids that are about to go to school, which is a terrific idea. It's great for the moms because the moms are to stay there and be part of this thing. So it's good for them too. There is a team library council which is made up of the youngsters, the kids that are still in school, if I may say kids, the students who are still in school. They put together the Christmas float, and let's see, there's also an item that they do in the youth services that I think is wonderful for children who are reluctant to read. They're embarrassed of their reading skills or lack thereof. And they have a program now with, they have dogs that will come in, and the children will read to the dogs. And it makes them, it's a non-judgmental audience for the children.
Right.
So people are just amazed at how well their children or grandchildren have improved by reading to these dogs. And I mean, it sounds a little strange, but it's being done in many libraries across the country, and it works amazingly well. They also have some classes where the students can get assistance with perhaps they're college bound, and they are given information about seeking financial aid and getting scholarships to go forward, which I didn't even realize they did that until this morning. And that's just one of the things, that's just a few of the things they do. It's really a remarkable thing. And they also have these STEAM kits that kids of all ages, they have them from really young kids to high school kids, and everybody loves them. And STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Math. So it's really not just a goofball kind of thing. It really is very nice.
Right.
I better not. I'll let somebody else talk.
No, we appreciate it. Judd, can you go on just for a little bit about the new development that was recently approved in the vineyards?
Yeah.
I think that kind of speaks to some of the higher caliber design that we have coming to Cottonwood.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, and you know, some of these, we were approached, actually I think that started a year ago, at least initially, looking at the property and the type of development, and that evolves to over the course of months, and we're kind of a sounding board initially, and really in the end, ultimately we make a decision, but we're not necessarily involved in those steps, but staff is along the way, and it is a really neat development. I think in this town, we love the small town feel to our community, and I think there's an effort in terms of development to maintain that and have developments that come in that accentuate that and have a feel of that small town community. With nice home designs, we try and encourage a lot of open space, and this is a design that did bring that in. Some trail systems, so many people, you know, the weather we were talking about earlier, so nice out today just to get out and walk and have in trail systems that eventually will link up with other outside trails as well. And to have at its heart, at least initially in the planning stage, some type of commercial part of it too, so that there's a nice residential feel to it and a family feel, and also something there that could serve the needs of that neighborhood as well. So yeah, that was a project I think that we all liked, and because it came before us several times, there was a lot of feedback, and I think that's a great thing that we've seen recently with some of the developers that will come in and not necessarily say, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to bring in, but kind of, I know they work a lot with staff behind the meetings that we put on, but to come and kind of still present it and are open to ideas, and that was one of those developments.
Yeah, great.
I think will be a nice asset to the community.
Yeah, I think it will too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them breaking ground out there. So, Ryan, you spoke a little bit about the home tour and that it funds a matching grant program for landmark properties. Would you just go into a little bit more detail about the landmarking process and what that means if you own a historic home?
Sure. If you have your home or property landmarked, you just have to fill out a fairly simple application through our Planning and Zoning Department. You know, and one of the beauties is we're working on a survey. We're working on getting a lot of the historic information throughout town. So odds are we might even have some information about your building. I think that a lot of folks think that, oh no, I've got to come up with the last 150 years of information from my building. You know, we would like to help and assist in that process. So it's a a fairly simple application process, turn it into planning and zoning. What we would like to just see is something that's 50 years or older as a basic qualification. We want to see some of the historic value in it, you know, that maybe it was a historic neighborhood, or maybe there was something historic of significance happened there. But I don't want that to deter anybody from doing it. It's a fairly simple process, and again, we'd like to help out with that. Once you're landmarked, then you can qualify for this matching grant program. Through the home tour, we've raised at least $5,000 for this. It's a 50-50 matching grant program. So you would, again, fill out a simple application. You'd be competing against anybody else who's landmarked, and at this point in time we only have 4 other landmarked properties, so you know, odds would be pretty good that you might be able to get in.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it now while we only have the 4. But do that, and you know, we would review the criteria as a commission to see if that was something that we'd be interested in helping reimburse. It's a reimbursement matching grant program, so I think it really is a win-win type situation where, you know, if you need a little bit of help with a paint job or something on the of significance to your property, you know, we would like to be able to do that, and it helps provide some incentive too to get your property landmarked. There are local dollars here to be had.
Great, very good. All right, so we have to take another quick break. Please come back and join us. We're going to speak a little bit more for another 10 minutes or so with various commissioners here in the city of Cottonwood. Thanks.
Hey there, I'm Kyle Benedict, news editor with Yavapai Broadcasting. Join News Director Paul David and I twice a week, every week, right here on Verde Valley TV for Countywide. We sit down and talk with everyone, from local police and fire agencies to nonprofit organizations, the National Force, and so much more. For times and listings, go to verdevalleytv.com. Again, it's Countywide, twice a week, every week, right here on Verde Valley TV. See you then.
Hello, I'm Jen Cohen, host of Verde Valley TV's hit TV show, The Verde Valley Experience. On each episode, we feature local organizations, nonprofits, persons of interest, events, activities, and great local musicians. It's informative, it's entertaining, it's fun. It's the Verde Valley Experience.
Hello, welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Mayor Tim Alinsky, and joining me today is Margot Mitchell from the Library Advisory Board, Judd Wasden from our Planning and Zoning Commission, and Ryan Bigelow from the Historic Preservation Commission. So, a question that we discussed over the break was a lot of people at home might feel like we have such great qualified commissioners here that you couldn't possibly live up to the caliber of these folks. I want to just speak with each of you about the qualifications to serve. So Margot, we'll start with you. What do you need in order to serve on the Library Advisory Board?
Well, it helps if you can read. I don't actually know that that is a qualification. I don't know if it would be required. I don't know of any real stringent policy that has been made. I would like to say that the board that we have is a very very open, very friendly, non-threatening. It's really, the meetings are brief, to the point. I haven't had to bang the gavel too many times. Right. It's really a nice group of people, as well as a great cause to be there for. Right. So I would certainly say that if you are interested in a library and you would like to see what is going on here, and this is really a heartbeat, a heavy heartbeat in this community, that it's a great place to be. It's really a good place.
So you don't need to be a English professor or a
no
PhD. Okay, great. Very
no.
good. Mr. Judd Wasden, what are the qualifications?
Well, I think probably the viewers, as they watch this and listen to me at least, would say, you know, boy, if this guy can do it, yeah, I should be there. Why is this guy even on there? I really think there are so many qualified people in our community, and I think really having an interest in the community. Volunteering is rewarding and it's important. But there really isn't a requirement in terms of maybe a background necessarily. In some cases there might be, but I think really it boils down to being interested in your community and participating to make your community better.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Ryan, what would you say?
I'm going to piggyback off that, but I think the number one criteria is that you just need to care. You really need to want to help your community and be involved, and I think we're also showcasing a variety of different commissions here. You know, you don't have to necessarily be really specific in one. If you care about your community, I bet there's a way you can get involved somehow through any of our boards and commissions with the City of Cottonwood. Specifically for the Historic Preservation Commission, you know, having a bit of a background in architecture or history would certainly be helpful, and that would be something we'd really value. But at the same time, if I can do it, anybody can do it, and we'd be, you know, we've got several open seats at this point in time, so you know, we're going to want to see as many applications as possible, get as many people involved as possible, and if it's not for the Historic Preservation Commission, maybe there's another fit for you.
Certainly. And I think it's important too for folks to understand that you have professional staff that back up your commission as well. So when we say staff, we're talking about city staff. These are the professionals that work for the City of Cottonwood. You have Vanessa Ward, who's the library director, and she's wonderful. So as far as the technical expertise, we really rely heavily on staff. Of course, you have the planning department, Baron Najad, and those.
Yeah, I would say that really kudos. They do all the hard work. We're really, you know, we come in and we fill a part of that process, but they do the heavy lifting and do a great job.
Great. So, Ryan, if there was somebody on the fence right now about whether or not to fill out an application, what would you say to them to convince them?
It's easy. It really is. Just get in there and do it. You know, if you're sitting on the fence, the rewards far outweigh any of the risks or the kickback that comes from these things. You know, we're helping make decisions, and you're one of 7 people. If it comes down to anything that was of any controversy at all, which we haven't run into yet on the Historic Preservation Commission, but to be involved and to be a part of it, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
Right. Judd, what would you say?
Well, we talked about the salary and all the perks, the car. I think the service in and of itself, anybody who has volunteered or given service, it's so rewarding. And in the community, it's such a close-knit community. The relationships you make and the things that you're able to do are really rewarding. So that in and of itself is a great pay.
Great. Margot, what would you say if somebody was on the fence? How would you tip them over?
I would say that you learn a lot. You learn a lot about your town. You learn a lot about the people here, and it's a great way of feeling that community even more closely and more valued within yourself.
Great. So none of you have really previously met before. Do you have any questions for one another?
You know, during the break, I was mentioning to Margo just how fantastic we have young kids, and the library really is such a great asset. And previously, we didn't really utilize that, but with our kids now, it's a fantastic getaway and really a neat place. So
Yes, it is.
you do a great job over there, and the staff is incredible.
They are marvelous.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. There's hardly a month that will go by that Vanessa will have comments from patrons that say, your staff is wonderful. We love the library. We love the library.
Yeah, certainly. Every time we drive by, my 3-year-old daughter points at it and says, library. She knows it well, so you do a great job.
Good. Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being so modest. You can take a little bit of credit for what you do.
No, not really.
All right. Well, we are unfortunately out of time, but I just wanted to let everyone know at home so that you can get online right now and get an application. To fill out the application, you would go to cottonwoodaz.gov and go to the Forms and Links tab, and there you would find a volunteer application to serve on a board or commission. So I certainly encourage you to sign up. We have vacancies on the Personnel Board, who isn't here today. We have vacancies on the Historic Preservation Commission, the Planning and Zoning Commission, Library Advisory Board, and I believe I'm missing one. Parks and Recreation as well. Serve on the Parks and Recreation Commission. So please get online right now and fill out that form. All right. Thanks very much for joining us. This was Inside Cottonwood again. My name's Tim Alinsky, the Mayor of Cottonwood.